My name is Neil McEwan. I'm producer on a new title from EA called Shox. The whole idea behind the game is that we wanted to create a new type of racing game on the next generation platform. We felt there was a gap in the market for this type of fun pick up and play arcade game. We want to steer well away from the sim-based game and just make a real fun, everyone can play type of game. With Shox we have 24 officially licensed rally cars from the historical Mini, Audi Quattro, Escort Mark II, all the Peugeots like the 106, 206. We've also got a new car in there that's never been seen before. Porsche actually launched the car in October. It's called a Porsche Cayenne, and it's their kind of new entry into the rally market. It's a new 4x4. We have a multiplayer head-to-head racing. We also have like a Mayhem Arena type mode. We have little sub-games that the player unlocks in the single-player mode, such as player has to get rid of the bomb, tag, that kind of thing. So we're trying to do something else with the multiplayer. You'll see in the game that we have in the single-player, rather than the player just earning enough money to get a new car, he actually has to earn enough money to put that money up as a stake and gamble against the car. So we'll say to the player, this new Porsche 959 is going to cost you $20,000 as a stake. Are you sure you want to continue? The player then says, yes, okay, I want to go for this. We then said, are you sure we're going to delete this from your memory card before you enter the race? So this kind of stops the player from restarting the machine if he's doing badly. The whole premise of the game is to do something really different and kind of take an ordinary road cars, albeit liveried up in rally liveries, but take them to these fantastical environments, and so the player can do things that he would like to do in his normal road car on these really fantastic landscapes. We have 3 different environments: snow, arid and Asian jungle. We pick these because these kind of give the player different road textures, and rallying's all about going from one different road surface to a new type of road surface. To lift the intensity of the race, there's the AI that the player needs to contend with. It's real bumper-to-bumper kind of racing. We also have these time segments on the track called shock zones, and the player can earn extra money through going through these zones at a fast pace. As you can see, I enter the first shock zone gantry, I get a shock zone bar, and this gradually counts down. The faster I get through there, I get rewarded a gold, silver or bronze. So it equates to money. If I manage to get 3 consecutive golds, which you have to be pretty good to do, it unlocks what we call a Shox wave. Next time the player enters the shock zone gantry, this big sonic wave appears, and the player has to try and stay in the wave. All the dust gets thrown up, all the audio it becomes a real big moment for the player, and his money accumulates twofold as he rides the wave. Next time he goes through the next gantry, it gets faster and faster. Try and bring the environments alive with loads of animation. Like on the snow tracks we have cable cars, we have parachuters. When we looked at the racing games out there, a lot of them were really kind of, they didn't feel real because there was nothing going on around other than the stuff that was going on the track. So the game runs at 60 frames everywhere. We feel it's really important that a racing game runs at 60 frames. We've really focused on the car handling because that's the most important part of any racing game, is the frame rate and the way that the car feels and handles. All the cars feel different to each other individually. Although it's an arcade game, we try and make each car different through handling. Like one could be rear-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. The player has to learn each new car and decide which one he wants to take on which circuit. We have 8 tracks on each of the environments. You can also go around different ways on the tracks. We have night racing as well that is unlocked by obtaining platinum shock zones with certain cars on certain tracks. So we could take the Audi Quattro, which is really fast, straight line speed, but doesn't corner as well as like the Mini or the Peugeot 106, and the player has to achieve platinum shock zones, and this will unlock like night racing, which looks really cool and it's really good fun because the only thing you can see is like the odd light on the side, and it's really quite dark, and the player's relying on just his headlights, and he can smash those as well. We actually have full championships, and the player has to have a Group 2 car to enter it. And again, he does this by gambling for a new car. Enduro races are the ultimate race at the end of the championship. It's where we link all the tracks together and the player can drive around there. It'll take about 2 minutes to get around, and it's for the real hardcore that's mastered all the other easier tracks. I'm really proud of the basics, the way that the car handles and the speed of the game, and just that it's good fun to play. The gambling aspects for new cars is quite unique. The environments for me look fantastic, and they're really nice to look at. It's been developed by an internal team at the EA Chertsey studio. the team that originally worked on F1 2000, F1 2001. So they're quite a renowned team within EA, and they've got a lot of kudos.